Welcome to Hooray! IELTS Writing, Task 1. Report writing, line and bar charts. Let us have a look at the description for this type of question. You will get a combination of a line and a bar chart. You need to compare and contrast the information. It is suggested that you ideally write 160 to 180 words. Remember to summarize and report the main features, and most importantly, use the passive voice while writing. One of the foremost things you must remember while doing the writing task is criteria. You have 4 criteria. Task achievement, which basically checks how much you have covered in the task and whether you have analyzed all the points. Coherence and cohesion checks how you have connected your ideas. Grammatical range and accuracy tests your grammar knowledge, while lexical resource refers to vocabulary. Now here is a sample question. As you can see on your left, you have a particular graph depicting visits to and from the UK, and below that you've got most popular countries visited by the UK residents in 1999. The first one is a line graph, while the second one is a bar graph. Your question will also consist of the time limit. It says here you should spend 20 minutes on this task. The line graph shows visits to and from the UK from 1979 to 1999, and the bar graph shows the popular countries visited by UK residents in 1999. The most important thing to note here is the requirement or the task response, and that is summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. You must write at least 150 words. You are ideally suggested, although, to write 160 to 180 words. 150 words is the minimum limit. The most important thing to understand about any piece of writing, especially in IELTS, is the structure. So when you begin writing, the paragraph that states the introduction is also known as the opening paragraph. Here, rephrase the topic using correct words. You could rephrase it using synonyms. Once you're done, go to paragraph 2 where you will mention the overview. The overview should state 2 of the main features. Once you're done, go to paragraph 3, which will consist of your main body. Here, you will write the first main feature of graph number 1, which is your line graph, then the second main feature, and use a language of comparison and contrast to bring out the differences or similarities. Similarly, you go to paragraph 4, which is your main body 2. Again, here you will write your first main feature, but this time it will be of graph number 2, which is a bar graph. Also mention the second main feature, compare and contrast the differences and similarities. Towards the end, you will come to the closing paragraph. Please make sure you mention the word overall and mention one striking feature of the graph. Now here is a sample answer. As you can see, the words are highlighted in bold. Certain words are highlighted in bold. They basically show language of comparison and contrast, and also the main features that have been highlighted. So your first paragraph consists of words like line graph illustrates, while the bar chart shows. This is again a language of comparison and contrast. Talking about summarizing the main features, you've got words like visits to and from the UK increased, and that France was the most popular country. So using good lexical resource like most popular country, visits to and from the UK, these are examples of good grammar and good lexical resource which could get you a higher band score. If you come to paragraphs second and the last paragraph, there are further words like higher than, figures started at a similar amount, which indicate a beginning. If you're talking about something that is increasing, then you can say increased significantly or rose steadily. Furthermore, words like the most popular countries, again this is a degree of comparison. If your graph doesn't necessarily give you an exact figure, then use words of approximation. For example, in the last paragraph, first line, you can see the words at approximately. So that will ensure that you cover your task achievement and you don't miss out on any points. Once you're done, make sure you mention overall and end the graph. Here are some strategies to do this type of question correctly and effectively. You must state the clear overall progression and organization. This basically means that you must properly align the information given in the graphs to the ones given in terms of writing. So a good way to do this is to use the first 2 or 3 minutes to make a rough note. Write down the points that you will be mentioning in each particular paragraph. Then use proper sentence structure and linking phrases to connect them together. Once you're done, ensure that whatever points you have put down also includes the main features. This could be the name, the location, the timeline, etc. Clearly compare the first image with the second. If time and location is given, ensure that you note it down and you mention it while writing. To do this effectively, use the language of location to understand positioning of things, or language of comparison and contrast to show changes or transformation. This could be increasing or decreasing or even steady. It is always a good idea to use good complex sentences as well as simple sentences. You will get more points for scoring in terms of grammar in this particular case. When writing, use the past and present tenses, keeping the timeline given in mind. On the left you have language of change, on the right you have comparison and contrast. You can use this kind of vocabulary. It will really increase your lexical resources score. So when giving examples of something that is increasing, you could say gradually increasing. If there is a fall, you can mention a slight fall. Slight is an adjective describing the type of fall. If you can see that the graph keeps increasing, once again you can use the word kept rising. If you're talking about the end or a level that it has reached, you can use the word reached a peak. Similarly, you can use other phrases listed below. When it comes to comparison and contrast, using words like however, in contrast, on the other hand, whereas, while will really help you understand and give you a clearer perspective about what is happening. But make sure you include them, and that is the most important thing. Now here are some words that denote time and how we can connect them, along with words on observation. So on the left, if you're talking about something that is beginning, you can say to begin with, or if you're talking about what comes next, you can say following this or next. If you are given stages, you could mention in the subsequent stage, then followed by, etc. When observing, you can use words like estimates, findings, calculations. You could put it in sentence form. You could say based on this estimate, or based on the findings, or based on the calculations, or the analysis between the two graphs shows that, or the analysis between the two images shows that. When making a comparison, again, you could use words and phrases like in the first case when referring to the first image, or in the second case when referring to the second image. Similarly, you can use the rest of the words. Now there are often problems that students face. So below are listed some common problems as well as solutions to those problems. What do you do when you write too much? Mostly students are found to be writing too much because there are two images. So they feel that they should include each and everything, and that results in a very long piece of writing, and you could lose the coherence in such a situation. Also, not summarizing and reporting the main features as asked is another issue. The solution to this is pick up two of the most obvious features that you notice, summarize and report only them. Then you can elaborate on them further. The next one is the inability to find the main features. Because of 2 images, students often struggle with the idea as to what exactly the main features are. A good way to solve this is to look for visual clues. Look at the fall and drop or major trends or changes, and any obvious comparisons that can be made between either the 2 graphs or within the same graph. Again, the third problem is not grouping information into paragraphs. There's often a confusion regarding this. It is always good to follow a structure. There is often also a tendency to group data from different graphs into one paragraph. Do not do that. A good solution to this would be to take down points based on the paragraph structure, as has been discussed before. Don't write about both the paragraphs in one paragraph. That is not a good idea. Follow the structure very, very strictly. The final point here is making comparisons. Sometimes students include irrelevant data. The questions may or may not have a relevant comparisons at times, and writing about comparisons when there is actually no comparison, that again will affect your coherence. So it is suggested that ignore if there are no obvious comparisons, and at times you will find that the comparison is in the same graph. So when you're preparing in the first 2-3 minutes, make sure you note down all of these points so that your writing goes smoothly and you don't miss out on any of the criteria. Now here are some general writing tips that you can use. Use apt vocabulary or correct vocabulary depending on the kind of image given to you and the kind of situation you see in front of you. Do not use contracted form of words like don't or won't or can't. Use the full form: do not, will not, cannot. Identify the keywords mentioned. Look at the title very closely, look at the question very closely, analyze it thoroughly. Analyze the topic next. Use again the first 2 or 3 minutes, and I am constantly stressing on this as it is very, very important. This will determine the structure of your graph and also the order in which you're writing, the organization and the layout. Use the passive form wherever possible. While doing so, ensure that you use the correct pronouns. Transitional words, if required to show a transition or a change, must be used. It will increase your score in the lexical resource. It will also help you to properly write a coherent structure. Ensure that you mention all the points given. You must maintain the academic style. Do not use informal language or slang. Make sure your ideas are logically organized. That is the end. Thank you.